Good morning, 2025. I actually wanted to film here from right outside my complex, but I feel like I'll be disturbing the lunch of the horses and cows that are here. There is a very small little calf here, and I don't want to disturb them. So I think I should find a different place to film from. And yeah, some of this video is going to be filmed from outside because I feel like I forgot that when I moved to Bansko, I said I'm going to film outside in every chance I get. So even though it's freezing and the snow is a bit hard to walk on because it's breaking all the time, I decided the sun is out so I can film from the outside today. I'm going to give you one last look at what I'm looking at and then we'll get to talking. Good morning. This is like literally outside my complex. This is where I came from. And this is my complex building. It's just very, 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 very icy. Okay, so New Year's resolution. I'm posting this for two reasons, I guess. The first one is that I think that it's nice to hear someone else's goals and resolutions and maybe then understand your own. I almost walked into a cable. It's one of those cables that keep the cow from moving. So let me just cross it. Oh wow, it's so icy in here. So yeah, maybe you'd see something in my resolution that resonates with you, or maybe something that I'll say will be like so not resonating with you that it will make you think about what you want and you'll get to the point of what you want through the no. And the other reason why I'm doing this is because, you know, I've been talking about changing my content a lot and I feel like my New Year's resolution really goes along with that. So it's kind of like letting you know what's happening. So my first New Year's resolution is impact over numbers. I don't care. I don't care if a video goes viral and 100,000 people watch it or if a video has 200 views. As long as I truly feel in my heart that that piece of content is valuable, I'm going to put it out there. As long as there's something in me that tells me one of you needs to see this video, I'm going to put it out there. And it's the same with numbers when it comes to money, because I could easily make the videos that make more money. But I think that somehow they're not as effective or they're not as impactful. Like another design tutorial with another tool and another affiliate link. Great, but what about understanding your dilemma as a creator or trying to balance your life with work? I feel like that has more impact, even though it will probably pay me less. New Year resolution number 2. Embrace my financial situation without guilt or trying too much. And I'm not saying this because, oh my God, I'm a millionaire and I feel so guilty. No, it's the opposite. I'm not. Like, I think in the last year, I've spent so much of my money, whether like helping family or donations and stuff like that, that I almost don't even know where my money went like this year. I'm like, I looked at my bank account a few days ago and I was like, what is this? I feel like a lot of the things that I was giving from a point of guilt. And it's not that I want to donate less. But I also need to think about, like, if I need surgery or something like that, I need a little bit of a more financial cushion. But also, I'm okay with donating as long as it doesn't come from a place of feeling guilty or feeling lucky. There is a dog there, and I don't know if it's tied or not, and it's making me very scared. I think I'm gonna go. I guess we're back to walking and talking as I stay clear from the dog, and I don't see any other place to sit. But yeah, embracing the fact that I'm relatively stable now. I mean, I own my own place. I don't have like crazy loans. I have disability pension, for those of you who didn't know. And I'm quite well, I guess. And I feel like it's a very strange place for me to be in. If you've seen my hair is in my face. I feel like it's a really weird space for me to be in. If you've seen my video, I think it was November 2022 when I went on a break and I was opening up about for the first time in my life. And it had nothing to do with like YouTube. Like YouTube was a part of it, but it was mostly the fact that I moved to a much cheaper country. The rules are different when you live in a cheaper place. So I feel like, again, for the first time in my life, I was able to breathe. I felt guilty if like I had an opportunity to make money, to make a class somewhere, and I was saying no, and I was like, no, no, you can't say no to money. You can't say no to money because what if you'll need it later and it won't come? I feel it's some kind of like hoarder mentality a little bit, but with money or with work. And I overworked myself for pretty much 32 years of my life. Well, not 32 because I wasn't working when I was a kid, but from the moment I started working as a teenager, I was just overworking myself. And I thought I healed my relationship with money. But in the past 2 months, I feel like I still have a way to go. So I'm going to try to embrace being financially stable without guilt or overworking myself. Okay, I'm home now. Yeah, I think I should like take this off. Yeah, probably a good idea. Moving on to resolution number 3, and yes, I'm in my apartment now, so I guess it's feeling much more cozy, and I found it to be very fitting for the fact that my resolution number 3 is to move from the boss babe to the soft girl era. And I'm saying this with a little bit of reservation or sarcasm for the terms because I really hate the words like boss babe or soft girl era. But for those of you who don't know these terms from online, the boss babe was this thing that was connecting women to basically the hustle culture of you have to grind and hustle, hustle, hustle and work, work, work all the time. And I feel like there are definitely times where you need to do that, or it's good to do that, especially if you're coming from a place of either extreme creativity or financial pressure. I mean, come on, let's be honest. And I think that in the past 2 years, I've kind of went with the grind and with the hustle despite being completely burned out all the time without really thinking about myself. So now I'm stepping into the soft girl era, which I hate that term as well, but it's, I don't know, more about being relaxed. I feel stressed saying the word relaxed. God knows why. I don't like to think about it as being relaxed. I think it's more about being in the moment and more like listening to your body. Is my body telling me that I want to work now? Is my body telling me that I want to rest now? Is my body just telling me that I want to go outside for a walk and just take photos of cows, which is like 20% of my existence here because I have a lot of cows outside my window and I'm obsessed with cows, for those of you who didn't notice somehow. But I noticed that this is really coming into my life, this whole like fast-paced decisions, change, work, do. I literally noticed it with changing my hair color all the time, cutting my hair shorter all the time, which now I'm working on like making it longer. I would love to like not cut my hair this year and just let it grow. I mean, cut it a little bit, but let it grow because I actually have curls, natural curls, and when they're short, they go up. And when they're long, they're very nice. So hopefully I'll finish this year with a video of me with just long locks of brown hair. And I think that the realization of me being too much in the hustle or boss babe or whatever you want to call it, the grind culture, the hustle culture, was actually a few weeks ago. I was doing physical therapy and I have this routine of the movements I'm supposed to do. And that was the first time in a long time that I didn't have anything on, or I was actually looking at the time. Like I was looking at my phone before I started. And then I finished, like I did everything I'm supposed to do in my physical therapy routine. And it's been 7 minutes. And I'm like, this is a 20-minute physical therapy routine, which, by the way, the whole point is also the slow movement of it. But somehow this hustle culture went so deeply into me that it literally affected me trying to get physical therapy done faster. And if you've ever done physical therapy before, you know that you literally need to be in a certain position for like 10 seconds or 10 breaths. I was even shortening my breaths. And I hate that. And if you think that this means, I guess, less videos, it could be. But it could also be different type of content, more, I don't know, more newsletter. I feel like I'm jumping into a different resolution, but to sum it up, whether you like the hustle culture, whether you're in hustle stage, I'm done. I'm done hustling. I'm done grinding. I want to work a little bit and rest and go outside and curl in bed and read a book and cook dinner for my friends and kind of balance the me, the friends, the out, and the work together rather than give work the biggest priority and try to squeeze in everything else whenever I have time or burn myself out. And resolution number 4, apologies for the echo, I'm filming from my co-working in my complex. I think that you guys don't know that I was actually filming from here quite some videos, I think, in the beginning, and I was working from here a lot. So I thought, hey, if I was filming from the outside again, why not film from the co-working? And the resolution number 4 is to work smarter, not harder. Now, I feel like no matter what business you have and no matter what year it is or what point of your business you're at, this should always be a resolution. Maybe it's just me, but this is how I feel. And I feel like at any point of your business, the work smarter, not harder is going to look a little bit differently. I feel like this year, in my case, with this YouTube channel and with my other projects, the work smarter, not harder is shown in 2 main ways. I still don't know where to look at the camera. Am I supposed to look here or here? Fine. So the first one is to batch work whenever possible. And that is something that I always said that I wanted to do. I'm going to take like 3 days and produce 5 videos and then release them over the course of 3 or 4 weeks. And I've always wanted to do that, and sometimes I did do that. I batch filmed 5 videos in 2 days, including video editing, including everything, but then I released them every day, trying to keep up with other YouTubers, trying to people please and get the content out there as fast as I can. I don't know what it was, but that led to so much burnout and so much inconsistency in my channel. So I'd actually rather have like 5 or 6 videos a month, or even 1 video per week on this channel, rather than loads of videos and then I'm completely burned out for a month, the way that I'm kind of feeling right now. I was really pushing it in the last few weeks, like with the last videos, and I decided to just, I'll batch film when I have the time, and the rest of the time is for rest, recharge, grabbing ideas, and living my life. And if that is something that resonates with you and you want to know how you can do that, because one of the most difficult things that we have is that when we decide to rest, that's when inspiration strikes, and then we want to work again. So no, when inspiration strikes, I'll write it in a notebook and continue resting. If I'm currently saying to myself I'm taking a few days or a few weeks to rest, that's what I'm going to do. And when I feel like I can work again, then I'll batch film. And it's not just batch filming. Batch filming is for this channel. I can also batch film or batch create content and blog posts and products for other projects that I'm working on, which takes me to the second part of the work smarter, not harder. So I am going to try and focus on 1 main project this year. And I think I found a way to beat shiny new thing syndrome, which is a video topic of its own. But the way that I see it is I'm going to take a really big passion project of mine and soft launch it. Work on it slowly with no pressure. And any other topic, any other niche, I'm going to dump it like on TeePublic and Spoonflower in my case, because I finally find this inspiration to make really cute t-shirt designs on a certain niche, and my instinct would be, hey, I need to make a blog about it and I need to make a Pinterest board about it. So no, I'm first going to dump it on TeePublic just to get it out of me, because sometimes as creative people, we just want to create something and get it out there, but we don't necessarily want to commit to it as a topic. And I don't know, I watched some cool YouTube tutorial on Procreate, or I made this new brush or downloaded this cool new brush and created this amazing pattern collection. Great, I'm going to dump it on Spoonflower, and I'm going to reflect on these things that I dumped in 6 months from now. And if one of those niches picked up on its own, then I'll consider it as a project. That is my work smarter, not harder. Resolution number 5. Create the content that I want to see versus what other creators are doing. I feel like in this space, someone makes a video about using this platform to design for this niche, and then other creators pick it up, and I've kind of done a little bit of that, but I don't like doing it. And it's not just doing that in this way, it's also doing the content that I would want to see out there, or the content that I think would have been useful for me 4 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, a little bit more than that when I started my business. I want to put the content that I needed. Kind of like if you could go back in time and give your younger self advice. And don't get me wrong, I'm very happy for my trial and error and learning things this way. But that's the content that I want to put out there, not necessarily the vibe or the trend or what everybody else is talking about, if that makes sense. Resolution number 6, to lead my life with my spirituality, with my love of God, with my faith, and let it lead my life and let it lead my business. I feel like there are so many ways in which I've already incorporated that in my business because I feel that my faith has been such a foundation for everything that I kind of already did that. I don't really know how it looks like to the nitty-gritty details, but if I have something to do or to say, I want to lead in with faith. I want to ask myself, do I have a clean conscience about that? And I feel like that is super related to, not taking sponsorships or certain sponsorships. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but deciding to not take sponsorships because a lot of these companies that work with YouTubers are basically telling YouTubers to lie. And I never want to be put in the position of a company that I had a video with, and in that video, sponsored video, there's like a clause that I'm not supposed to say anything bad about the company ever. And 2 years after, that company does something horrible, and I'm not allowed to say anything about it. I feel like it's horrible. I've been seeing what's happening with anyone that has promoted Honey. For those of you who don't know, Honey is a coupon finder extension that you put on your browser. So like wherever you find like a product you want to buy, you can check out Honey if you have a coupon. And turns out that not only they were stealing affiliate commissions from pretty much every YouTuber, they were also not actually showing you the right coupons. And this came out publicly a few weeks ago. I would leave a link to that video down below if you want to see it. There was a very big deep dive done by a channel that I really like. And it came out that they were not only just messing up with affiliate commissions by creators, they were also not showing you the right coupon codes. Like they would literally show you a 10% discount coupon code on a company that has a 20% discount code because that company is limiting your visibility of codes. So that plugin that is supposed to bypass all of this actually has agreements with the companies of what is the biggest deal that they're allowed to show you, which is shady stuff. And a lot of creators who were burned by them were not able to say anything about it, even once they realized. And that was covered in that video as well, that a lot of creators who suddenly just stopped making videos about Honey didn't say why. And I'm pretty sure it's because they were not allowed to say. So I'm really happy that my faith has led me so far. There are a lot of other aspects of my faith that I have in my business, whether it's my faith or my spiritual side. And if you want me to make a video about how I personally lead my business with my faith, my principles, and my spirituality, do let me know in the comments down below. Resolution number 7, put things where they belong. And I don't mean organizing my apartment, even though my New Year's resolution should have definitely been to finally organize my apartment because there is a lot of mess here. But I do mean to put things where they belong when it comes to this channel. And with that, I mean two places, which are our Facebook community and the newsletter. I feel like I've been using the Facebook community and the newsletter a lot to post a video whenever I make a new video. And this also came from you guys because a lot of people told me that it looks like YouTube is not really letting them know, even though they turn on notifications and they're subscribed, YouTube is not really letting them know that there's a new video. But the more I started doing this, the more I realized that this is how I'm using these platforms, when in fact I do have other ways that I want to use them. So our Facebook community is going to be for our community. It's going to be for our posts and shares and things that we want to talk about. We also have the group chat, the messenger chat in the Facebook community. And I'm really happy that I was able to open it again. And the Substack is not going to include now an alert every time I have a video, but instead I'm kind of thinking about like doing a weekly newsletter with a bunch of stuff that I pick up here and there, interesting content pieces that you might want to read, even like videos from other creators that I found to be useful. Again, the soft girl era connects to that as well, because if I see a YouTuber that made a really, really good video, maybe I'm okay with just letting you guys know, hey, you wanted to know how to do that? Go to this content creator. Instead of, oh, I have to make that video too. The Substack is going to be for news. The Substack is the free newsletter. There is a link to that down below, of course. I want to make it more about news or about kind of like a conversational starter topic, summarizing something. if I have this like insight about business and I want to make it weekly. If you have a day that you think would be cool in a week for the newsletter to come out, do let me know in the comments. And with that, I'm going to move to resolution number 8 because it kind of is somehow connected, because I did say I want to put things where they belong when it comes to this newsletter and the group. So resolution number 8 is to be more present in our community. While I will be making less videos, I want to comment back. I can take the time now and answer deeply, because sometimes you guys either email me or DM me or comment on the channel, and in order for me to answer, I sometimes would spend like 2-3 hours or 4 hours just answering comments. And I think I'd rather do that than make another video and grind. I feel I'd rather sit here with chill music, in my PJs. Not that I'm not wearing my PJs when I'm filming, but I feel like I want to do that rather than make more videos. And that includes the comments on the channel, that includes the DMs that I'm getting from you, and especially our Facebook community, because I did want to do that last year, like to have this kind of rhythm to it. Like every few days, I'm going to post something that is a question. And I've been doing it a lot more, I think, in the last few weeks. Like, hey, what is your best advice to give to someone? Or what is your biggest struggle? And I feel like I just want to have more in-depth conversation and learning from each other, because whenever I do something like that, whenever I tell, hey, do you guys have any advices for beginners or for non-beginners, I always learn so much from you guys. And I just want to be more a part of the community than the face on one side that looks over at the community. Yeah, I want to be a part of the community and be more with our community. And if you are in a Facebook group and you have any question, not a question to me, because I see this all the time, hey, and people tag me, you said in one of your videos that this and this and this. If you have a personal question to ask me, of course, that's fine. But we have so many amazing people in the group, and we all have different experiences. We all try different platforms in different periods of times in different niches. And I feel like there's so much to learn from everybody in our community. Even the most beginners can teach you something. So if you're on our Facebook group, feel free to post a question, to post a dilemma, to share a story that happened to you relating to work or even to life, because we do get personal there. And if you're not in our community, the link to our Facebook group is down below. Resolution number 9, create without overthinking. Or maybe I should have phrased it as create without overcomplicating things. And the first step of that for me is the script. Instead of having a script on my computer, I'm having a script in a notebook that I carry around with me, and it's just bullet points. And it's not that I'm that scripted in my other videos. Some of them were a lot more scripted. The video I did with Printful was very scripted. I mean, it had to be very scripted. It had so many dates in there and literally me reading interactions with customer support representatives, and it had to be very well organized. So yeah, that one had to be scripted, as well as other videos that I'll make that are maybe more technical. I do feel like sometimes if I just sit down and talk, as if I'm talking to a friend, the best business advice will come from that. My best and most personal stories and reflections on life and things that happened to me that taught me that lesson that I'm talking about, that business lesson. I feel like that comes out a lot more naturally if I'm unscripted. And it's also like physically, like I can feel physically when I'm talking like this, when I'm less scripted, I feel more connected to you guys. I feel more connected to our community. And I also don't feel like I'm that in front of the camera. I don't feel that stress, that camera shy when I'm just like going with it. Or maybe it's also like the new camera, because it's really adorable and cute and very, very, very small. And definitely filming here doesn't feel like I'm in a set or something like that. So I feel like also creating without overthinking is not dwelling on my set too much, which is why I wanted to do this today and kind of do this like ping pong that I did between different places in my apartment and here, just to get myself comfortable with filming with imperfections. New Year's resolution number 10. I want to learn. I want to learn more, and I don't want to just learn for my business. I feel like I'm doing that all the time. I'm always learning how to illustrate something new. I'm always learning new things about SEO and marketing and keeping track with everything, and I'm going to continue doing that. But what I really want to learn is other things. Like I want to learn how to be better at the piano. And also, I got myself Spanish books because I decided, well, I spoke Ladino as a child and my last name is Arojo. I might as well speak Spanish. Even though a friend of mine got kind of pissed at me for wanting to learn Spanish, and it's not because he hates Spanish. It's because he's Portuguese, and I'm also technically Portuguese. And he was like, Maya, come on. Yes, Maya is my first name. May is my middle name. Maya, come on. You finally decide to learn a Latin language and you study Spanish? We are the Portuguese people. You need to study Portuguese. So I told him if he finds a good Portuguese English teaching book on Amazon Germany, because that's where we order from here, he can let me know. But yeah, Spanish and the piano, because I actually really like playing the piano. So yeah, I want to get better at playing the piano, and I think I've gotten a little bit better because I basically started with what is this supposed to be, but now I can, like, just do all of these things with my hand, and then, like, try to combine it with, like, yeah, I'm still not perfect. I'm like far from perfect. And I feel like trying to play the piano is an incredibly humbling experience, mostly because I've been playing the guitar since I was like 5 or 6. So learning the piano is yeah, it's incredibly humbling. I want to master it better, and I want to be able to play without all of the keys saying the chord or the note that they're on. My little cheat sheet. I just want to learn more for the sake of learning, for the sake of my own hobbies, and not because something needs to get monetized. I feel like a lot of these goals are connected into the soft girl era. Maybe that's the theme. I'm going to go back to my sofa for the last resolution for 2025. But before I do that, I would like to mention the fact that, yes, I made this. It's a puzzle. And this is from the knitted sweaters that you can find with Printful and with Fourth Wall. There was a video about these sweaters in this channel, and also a video about these sweaters on the Printful YouTube channel. I would leave links to both of these down below. Printful has like one option out of many options that this supplier has. They work with a third-party supplier, and I actually ordered from that supplier with Fourth Wall more items, not just the first type of knit sweater. And I'll probably make a review about this in a few weeks, or I'll drop it in the newsletter a little bit, my thoughts about how every item looks like. Resolution number 11 and last. I want to learn more about myself. I feel like a big part of my life I've been chasing something. I've been chasing mostly to be able to calm down, to be able to stop, to be able to take a few days rest without having to take a loan in order to sustain myself. I've been living on my own for most of my life. I've been traveling a lot. A lot of it has also been for work. Like I worked in Canada, I worked in Finland, I worked in Singapore, I worked in Thailand. And that was not like with my business. That was not with my online business like I'm doing now in Bulgaria, but it was like actual physical work. I've had all of these experiences, and I don't think I ever took the time to sit down and process them. And I definitely see this in the last few days when I get these like bursts of like an hour of journaling about something, reflecting on something. I see this in my conversations with my friends. So when I wrote the Learn About Myself resolution, it has 4 things in it. The first one is human design. I've been deeply into this in the last few weeks. I did mention this in the channel and in the group, and I will be doing a human design series. If you do want to learn a little bit more about this before we do the series, just type in free human design chart on Google and you have like loads of websites that have that. I personally ran my chart and the charts of my friends on myhumandesign.com. That's Jenna Zoe's website. And I'm learning so much. And you don't even have to pay for this knowledge because I know a lot of things are paid, but there's so much free knowledge about this online. It also relates to the new thing that I'm working on, the new project that I'm working on. And some of you already know that and already know my human design type because you've been snooping. And there is some content on that. So I want to learn about myself, about my human design, and not just human design in general. I want to journal more, and I don't want to make it like journal every day. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. Wake up, have a coffee, and journal. No, it's bursts. If I feel like I need to think about something, I want to be journaling, whether it happens 3 times a day or once a week. I want to find the right diet for me to learn about my body. And I don't mean diet to lose weight. I am planning to lose weight because usually when I start eating better, I just shed back some weight and go back to my own. I'm still a little bit heavier, I don't know, than I was when I first came here. I have lost, I think, about 22 kilos in the beginning of 2024. And I gained a little bit in the last few months. And I'm not looking at this from the point of, oh my God, I want to be skinny. No, I'm looking at this from the point of someone who broke half the vertebrae in her spine. And when you have like more fat, your body just carries more. And it's not just having more fat, it's when you have more muscles, mostly leg muscles and stomach muscles, then you can like carry yourself better and release that tension from your spine, which is something that I'm craving because I can feel the extra added pain when I gain weight. And I also feel it in my stomach because we are what we eat. I want to find the right, I don't want to say diet. It's not like I'm going to be vegan or vegetarian, but I do want to come into a little bit more of a flow. And I feel like that is something that can only happen when I'm getting out of the grind, getting out of the hustle culture and into the soft girl era, because I had so many days where I was waking up at 4 in the morning and I was filming and then I was editing and then I had a call with like, I don't know, Printful or Repper. And it's literally 12 hours that I've been up and working and I haven't eaten anything yet other than drinking an insane amount of coffee or just, you know, eating some kind of chocolate or an not healthy yogurt. And then I was just like binge eating just to cover it up. No, I want to be more conscious. I want to have the time to reflect and decide, do I want to eat an apple? Do I want to eat that candy bar? Because I do think that there is room for eating junk, but I do want to come to eating junk or to eating something unhealthy or sweet from the place of this is what I want versus I don't have time to cook or to create like this amazing colorful salad. So yeah, I want to learn what is the right eating habit for me. Wow, this video is weirdly personal, but hey, it's my New Year's resolution, so who cares? And learning about myself also means being comfortable in my own space, whether it's my apartment, literally the way that I arrange the furniture. And I'm going to show it to you because there is a video planned on how I juggle living, working, and filming in a one bedroom, including entertaining people. And it's not like my apartment is huge. And I want to get more comfortable in my own space. I need to clean it up first. But yeah, we're almost at the end of this video. So thank you, first of all, for staying put till now. I am going to finish this video from the outside, from the snow. But before I do that, I do want to share a quote with you guys, which is one of my favorite quotes. It's by Marianne Williamson from A Return to Love, Reflections on the Principles of A Course in Miracles. And it goes like this, in case you don't already know what I'm talking about. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frighten us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I feel like that's the best quote that I can end this year. I have lost relationships and friendships with people because they viewed my success as something that is hurting them. They viewed my success as they're not good enough. And it pisses me off. Not because I lost that friend, but because logically speaking, if you see someone successful and you're friends with them, learn, do the same, or do it your own way, but learn from that. And I don't know, maybe it's also the soft girl era, because it's kind of like, oh, you're making all this money because you're working all the time. No, I'm going to make money because I'm going to be calm and relaxed, and I'm going to manage my blogs in a way that feels organic to me. And when you are organic and authentic and connected with yourself, the universe is going to take care of the rest. And I know that a lot of you must be thinking, why is she talking like this? Who is that girl? That's always been me. I've always been incredibly spiritual. I feel like a lot of people don't even know that about me because I don't know, look like the typical spiritual person. But I've always been this spiritual. I just never, I guess, allowed myself to calm down enough and to trust that, this is who I am, this is my message. And if someone doesn't like that, they can skip this video or they can just not watch my channel. And I'm good with that. So yeah, that was the video. That's my New Year's resolution. I will say this. The new website is on. I'm finally reclaiming my own name. I've been using maytribe.com for too long. So it's mayaroyo.com or shop.mayaroyo.com for the new shop. maytribe.com. The shop is no longer active. I mean, the link is still active because it's in so many videos. But if you go there, you'll pretty much just find out that there is like nothing there. But yeah, the new website is on. I wanted to launch it with the roadmap already there, but I realized that I'm forcing it out there and I don't want to force out my best business advice to just make it fast. I'd rather make it not perfect. I should put a New Year's resolution to stop being a perfectionist, but I feel like it's more like I want to put it out there when it's phrased right. I want to give myself the time to really create that roadmap. So if you currently go to my website, on the main page, you'll see like the roadmap link is kind of like saying just coming soon. But there are stuff there that I've put there. For those of you who would want to know, I was using the Hostinger website builder for my own website, and the shop is with Fourth Wall, of course. What else? The new shop has some digital files. It also has some of the freebies, and it also has print-on-demand items. Because I decided to listen to you guys when you say, oh, I really love your mug, or your tumbler, or your notebook, or your t-shirt. So pretty much the stuff that I'm wearing on videos, I'm just creating them if you want them as well. So feel free to go ahead and check out mayaroyo.com or shop.mayaroyo.com, Hostinger website builder, and a Fourth Wall store. Let me know in the comments, what are your New Year's resolutions? I would love to hear them. Or if I said something that resonated with you, whether it was like a no for you or it was a definite yes for you. I'd love to know. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for 2025. I'm terrified, but I'm also thrilled for 2025. And I don't know, I'm going to take the next week or 2 weeks to work on the roadmap on the website and the video for that. But with that being said, and with bloopers and behind the scenes, right after I say bye, that was it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new or were at least entertained. Have an amazing start to 2025. And as usual, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Oh, there's a cow here. There's a baby cow. And also a baby shepherd dog. Oh, he's so cute. Hello. I feel like there's like a world between us when I'm with sunglasses, but the sun here is so strong and like the snow is reflecting. It's really like I'm blind without them. Hi, baby. Hello. Come here. By the way, in case you want to see our co-working, so I was in the quiet room, but this is the main hall, and I think the people didn't clean up after a meal. So welcome to our tiny co-working with loads of games. Yeah, people in this town and in this complex are obsessed with board games. But yeah, welcome to our space. I still need to get used to how this camera is moving. And let me show you where I was filming. I was filming from here. I was literally sitting at this table. It's kind of like a quiet room. I don't think anybody uses it now because it's very cold. I mean, we have AC here, but it does not compare to the fact that here there is a fireplace. And I guess that people like it a bit more with the whole Christmas vibe. Who's a good boy? Come here. Oh my God, I'm so happy I live here. Oh, hi, honey. I don't even know if the camera is catching this, but you're just delicious. You're scrumptious. Resolution number 5. The minute I said the word resolution, one of the cows was like, "Who's that?" Such a mess. Everything is a mess. There's so much stuff here. There's like a pile of different pillows and different fabrics. Resolution number 9. Let me find a place where the sun is not pissing me off. Is that fine? Oh, wow. I think my camera is going to break today. Resolution number... I'm going to try and walk without scaring the baby calf or the little puppy because he's guarding the baby cat. Aren't you? Aren't you? Not a perfect set, huh? I mean, come on. I can't believe that I'm like going downstairs and this is my view. Hello, cowies. I forgot to take that part of my camera that can zoom in and out. Apparently it's another shtick that connects to it. Otherwise I could have zoomed in much better on these beauties having lunch and just lounging in the sun. Back to my enormous sofa bed that is in my apartment for the 11th part. And you know what? This camera can just flip itself. So I'm just going to show you. Tuck, tuck, tuck. This is where I was filming. My gigantic open sofa bed. Don't ask me why it's open and there's a mattress on it. There were no guests. I just love having this in my house. And sometimes I just like will watch a movie in the middle of when I'm working just from the bed. Come here. Come here. Who's precious? Aren't you precious? Aren't you precious? Oh my God. Just a baby cow and a puppy being best friends. I've had the neighbor walking. And of course, and yeah, there are cars moving. I was about to say something like really smart, and then a car came. Ugh. But with that being said, my hair. But with that being said, oh, I just want to stay here forever and never have to work again. I think that if you'll pee now, that will just be the cutest thing ever.